All right, your case is entitled Sturgis Place Apartments versus Nathan and Kelsey Weller. It's filed as a demand for non-payment of rent, and here in a moment, we'll figure out how much they believe rent is. Mr. John Bradshaw is here on behalf of the complex as well as the manager, Trina Wiesel. You are tenants in a landlord-tenant proceeding, and as such, you have certain rights. You have a right to hire a lawyer. If you cannot hire a lawyer, because you can't afford one, you can see if legal aid would be willing to represent you, or you could seek other legal counsel. Meg Bauer is here from legal aid, sitting in on our proceedings and is available for counsel if needed, counseling, not necessarily file an appearance, but at least discuss it with you. We don't have court-appointed attorneys in civil cases. This matter is here in St. Joseph County, and you have a right to have the matter heard in St. Joseph County where the property is located. Your landlord has asked you to be evicted from a residential property for not paying your rent. You may be able to get some emergency rental assistance from several agencies: Community Action Agency, Neighborhoods Inc., Department of Health Services, possibly.
That guy that was here yesterday.
Ms. Wiesel, I'm going to mute your microphone.
Sorry, thank you.
If you're a veteran, you may be eligible for some veterans housing assistance. You may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord by going through mediation. If both parties are interested in that, the court can help set it up. You may also be able to reach an agreement with your landlord by going into a discussion that would result in the filing of a conditional order of dismissal. Mr. Bradshaw's office is very adept at that, and they could assist. You also have a right to have a jury trial. If you do wish to have a jury trial, you must tell the court at this first appearance or file a written demand for a jury trial within 5 days and pay the jury demand fee, which is $50 unless the judge waives it for inability to pay it. Mr. Bradshaw, rent here looks quite expensive, $1,295 per month, at least by St. Joe County standards. What's the arrearage here today?
Yes, Your Honor. The current amount due through the month of June is $2,532.51. There's court costs of $236.27. So the total due through the month of June, $2,768.78. That includes a $50 late fee. And so, Trina, I just want you to know, I took off $50 because you had 100. So that's where we are. Again, more than happy to do a dismissal. Here we are.
All right, Mr. Weller, what's your proposal? Are you going to try to stay there and get caught up on the rent?
Yes, I'm trying. Yes, I'm trying to.
Paid 600.
I just paid 600 today.
And on the 13th,
this month. This morning.
and then on the 13th, I'm paying 600.
And then on the 13th, we're paying another 6.
And then by the end of the month, we should have the rest.
All right, very good. Ms. Wiesel, does that $600 payment that they made today show up in this accounting?
It's not on my ledger.
No.
All right, so it's not posted yet.
Yeah,
All
it came
right,
off our chime.
All right, now you have a right to have the matter adjourned for at least 7 days, which takes us to next Monday. Now, Mr. Bradshaw is here and he's willing to speak with you privately in what's called a breakout room. Today's the 5th. I'm gone next Friday, which is the 12th. So it would take us to the 19th if we do go there. Let's see where we are here. Would you be willing to speak with Mr. Bradshaw in a breakout room? What he's going to discuss with you is a potential conditional order of dismissal whereby you agree to make certain payments, and if you make those payments, the case would be dismissed and it wouldn't show as a landlord-tenant case. If we can reach such an agreement, I won't reset it. If we can't, I will set it for a hearing at another date, which we'll decide here in a minute. So are you willing to go into that breakout room and talk with Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me open the breakout room.
You can put Trina in there as well.
All right. All right, I'll wait here. Click on the button that says join. Meg, our next case, or our first case, is the same apartment complex served by attachment. The property appears abandoned and they have a second mailing. The next one after that is a mortgage foreclosure, which also appears abandoned, served by attachment, and we have a second mailing. So we may have a couple of quick defaults here. So I'm not in any time crunch. And I put them in there. I appreciate the fact that they were here early.
Thanks for the update. Sounds good, Judge.
I think, is it raining in Kalamazoo? No, good. It's raining quite hard. We know we all needed a good soaking rain. Andy's ordered this kind of rain for June 19th. Started about 2 o'clock when everybody's out on about the third tee, and then it'll come down like crazy.
That sounds like
We
last
kind
year
of,
then.
we got used to having all those days in a row of beautiful sunshine. I guess we do need a little rain. With this courtroom having windows, you know, I could never see anything in the old court. It was like being at the movies. When I got out of the movie, I didn't know what the weather was like. It was like coming out of a isolation chamber, but I can now see out the window and I can see the rain on the roof of the court building and I can see all the trees. So it's a privilege to be able to look out the window. Something as simple as that.
I can't hear it on the feed, but is the noise of the rain in the larger chamber louder?
Not bad. It was the other night when it was really blowing. Now I've done something in here. I don't have any customers in here. I had a very busy day. I've turned off all the microphones but mine. The viewers have complained about the echo in here. Some of it is because of the size of the room. And I think some of the other microphones may have been duplicating the sound. I have to have the microphones on when there are people in here, obviously. But right now, every microphone is shut off but mine. Can you discern any difference in the sound quality?
Actually, yes. It's there appears to be almost no echo. There's a little bit, I guess, of feedback, but I noticed it when John spoke that there was none of that.
Well, most of the time, I don't have the luxury of shutting everything off, but when I am doing things remotely, there's no reason to have those other microphones on, picking up the other ambient sound. So hopefully this will help us. I think the afternoon is going to be all Zoom.
Yeah, I had been curious. I tend to be our tech person in the office here. And I was like, man, I want to like see what the settings are, try to mess with them. And then you said that you had the county sound, or, the tech folks in, and I was like, well, if they tried it, I got
Well,
nothing.
I'm not sure they're the end all and be all. It wasn't the county, it was this company that services our equipment. I haven't touched any of the settings on there. I don't want to screw anything up. So we've tried this. I'm also using one of the smaller flat mics, which I think is better sound quality. So we'll hope for the best.
Have you changed any of the Zoom settings at all? Like Zoom has a way to account for background echo noises and ambient noises. Obviously,
No,
what you've done here is working, so maybe it is the other microphones in the courtroom.
I tend to be the Luddite around here, so that's my function.
I don't know. You say that, but of all the judges I work with, you seem to be one of the most, certainly during Zoom, or during COVID,
Well, there's no clerk in here. This is just me. I was proud of myself yesterday. I screen shared a Google Earth photograph of an intersection we were talking about in a traffic case, which was helpful. At any rate, I do the best I can. We returned to Sturgis Place versus Weller. The parties were put in a breakout room for a short time. Mr. Bradshaw, what's the status here?
Your Honor, the parties and the defendants and I are going to enter into a conditional dismissal. This would be the form DC 508. I went over the form with them and I've completed it, and just so everybody knows one more time. The case is going to be dismissed today with prejudice subject to the following condition, and the only condition is that the defendant shall pay the following to the plaintiff: $2,532.51 rent, $236.27 in court costs, for a total due through the month of June of $2,768.78. I'm going to give them until June 30th because I'm just building in their extra time they would get because of the adjournment date. On the 19th, they would have until the 29th or the 30th anyway, so I'm building that in. I went over paragraph 4B, which is to say that if they don't pay it or make some contact with us, we could ask for another judgment. We don't necessarily have to, but we could. I also stated that if they paid $2,700 of it, it's not going to stop anything. They have to pay the entire amount. And I explained their rights under 4201J, that is, since they're not represented by counsel today, they have 3 business days from today's date to file something in writing with the court saying they were pressured, they didn't understand their rights, whatever, but it's not, they'd have to file something in writing stating what those reasons were why they wanted to back out of the plan. And I've asked them if I can sign their name. I'll ask them here on the record if I can sign their name to this form and get it submitted, and we won't have to come back the next time.
Mr. and Mrs. Weller, did you hear all that?
Yes, sir.
And you agree to those terms and conditions?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Bradshaw pretty much laid it all out. You don't have a lawyer. If you do wish to feel you didn't understand or were treated unfairly, you have 3 business days to set the judgment aside. But this is going to be dismissed, so it won't show as a landlord-tenant case on your record. If you pay the rent, you have to pay the entire amount plus costs. The matter will stay dismissed. If you don't pay the rent, they can ask for a further judgment and even a writ of eviction. Now, you indicate you paid $600. I don't disbelieve that, but it hasn't caught up with the file yet. So it looks like you owe about $2,100. You got another $600 in the pipeline and some more money after that. He's also given you all the way to June 30th. If we were to do it the old-fashioned way, you'd have 10 days from today, which would be June 15th. So this gives you to the end of the month to pay June's rent and the court costs. Of course, on July 1st, the new month's rent is due, but this only goes through June. Do you understand?
Yes.
And we have your permission, both of you, to sign your name to the judgment as a consent?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, I heard Kelsey as well. All right, do you have any questions?
No.
Just to be clear,
Thank you.
I went ahead and, sorry, folks, I went ahead and added under paragraph number 3, further conditions. The defendant states that they have paid $600 today, not reflected on the above amounts.
All right, so that takes into account your 600. If it catches up with the file, that will change the number by $600.
Right.
All right, Mr. and Mrs. Weller, thank you. You're good to go. Stay dry.
Thank
We'll
you.
try.
This was a claim for non-payment of rent. File number is 26942LT. We learned that through May, rent was $2,525, $222.57 in costs. for a total of $2,747.57. That did not include June. The parties had moved into the complex shortly before the tornado of March 6th hit, and that complex was hit. I continued the matter from March 29th to now, June 5th. Mr. Bradshaw, what's the status here today?
Your Honor, the current amount due through the month of June is $3,644.99. That includes a reduction of court costs, sorry, a reduction of late fees. So what I have, and there's court costs of $222.90, $222.57. Sorry, my numbers don't look very clear. Total due, $3,867.56. So we've chatted a couple of times this week, Mr. Havens and I, and Ms. Patno. And you know, it's a tough situation. They're not positive they're going to be able to pay this. I do have authority to extend this until the 26th of June. I have told them that this morning. And so just so they understand, we're going to be doing the the CD 508, which we discussed earlier, that the case will be dismissed today. It'll stay dismissed as long as they pay the total amount, $3,867.56 by the 26th of June. If they don't, we don't have to, but we could ask for a judgment and an eviction. They understand that they have to pay the whole thing, and since they aren't represented by counsel today, they're going to have 3 days to file something with the court saying they didn't understand their rights, although I think they understand things. It's just a tough situation. Also, there's a possibility, and I want to make sure they understand this again, and we talked about this. If they can't come up with it, the case can still remain dismissed if they also vacate. So hopefully that's not going to be an option, but they understand it might be. I've asked them if I can sign their name to this. They said yes, but they can tell me again today on the record.
All right, Mr. Havens, Ms. Patna, did you hear everything that he said?
Yes, me and Mr. Bradshaw spoke a couple times, like he said, and he's giving us till the order the 26th.
All right, there are two options. If you pay the money, you get to stay there. And your tenancy would continue, and then July's rent would be due on July 1st. This would show as dismissed. The other option is that you vacate, and it would still show as dismissed. So it would not show as a landlord-tenant case on your record. I know that you're struggling financially, and this is a pretty expensive place to be if you don't have a lot of money. So if you vacate, great. If you pay, great. If you don't, you could be subject to a writ of eviction, and on or after the 26th, they could ask for the sheriff to vacate you, and then it would show up on your record. You indicated you had been to THS, I thought you said, and Neighborhood Inc. Have you had any success with those?
Neighborhood Inc. denied us. I'm still on a waiting for someone from, what's her name, from Community Action. She's supposed to get back with me to see what kind of funds they have available. And also about 7 days ago, a week ago, I applied with DHS with a SER, State Emergency Funds or Relief or something. And they said it takes up to 10 days, and I'm waiting for an email from them.
All right, Mr. Bradshaw, could you email that conditional dismissal right now?
Oh,
I will ask Elaine to bring it in, and I'll provide the defendants with a copy of it right while they're here.
okay.
It's not the same as a judgment, but it'll have the numbers on it, which you can share with Neighborhood Inc., Community Action Agency, DHS. The just plain fact is we have more demand for the funds than we have funds. During COVID, I think they just spun straw into gold, and there was money all over the place. And many landlords got their rent paid, many tenants got their tenancy saved. That money is all gone. And now we're back to our old inadequate emergency housing funds. All three agencies, DHS, Community Action Agency, and Neighborhood Inc., have a lot of demand for emergency funding. And I have more demand than they have funding. But Mr. Bradshaw is going to send me this conditional order. And Laura, would you go to Elaine and ask Elaine to print that conditional order of dismissal so we can give it to the Havens before they leave?
What?
Get it over to them.
Okay.
We're sitting,
It's gonna be, go ahead, yeah, thank you. It's gonna come in a second, Your Honor.
Very good. All right, do you have any questions?
no, sir, I understand it very clearly, and we're sitting on about half the funds, but. they
Oh, well,
don't
you
take no
had
partial.
another one of those show cause for money hearings the other day. I just excused all the remaining balance of that.
I spoke to your staff, and I thank you so much. I took a fall coming up the curb there. And
Well, you'd been paying consistently in small amounts and I forgave some of it, so that one's done. If you go out to the counter, the clerk will give you a copy of this conditional order. You can share it with DHS and others.
I think, sir, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
just to be clear again, Mr. Havens, if you
No,
are.
we haven't heard it yet.
Okay.
If you're
I
told by
told her
S-
I told her I wanted her to be here. All right, we'll call it here in a minute.
Okay, I'll get that.
All right, we skipped ahead of it.
Your Honor,
All
one more
right.
thing from Mr. Havens, if I could. Just, Mr. Havens, if SCR says, hey, we can get this money to you, it's gonna be the 28th instead of the 26th, or whatever, just make sure you keep in close contact with the office, okay?
Absolutely, sir. Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right,
All right, you can just wait right here. I'd ask you to shut that microphone off. All right, Mr. Weiner has joined us. We skipped ahead of one of your cases, and we've got a couple of memory lanes left. All right. Kiana Summy has called, and I told her that I wanted her to be here live. I didn't want to do it by telephone. Well, she didn't. Let's see, maybe she's in the waiting room. There's people in here I don't know. No. Anyway, I've got a phone number. I don't like doing this. $34 and a 25?
Yes.
Gee.
Hello.
Hello, is this Kiana Summy?
Kiara Summing, yes.
Well, this is Judge Middleton. I'd ask you to be here today or Zoom in. What happened?
I never got the information, like the ID stuff. I didn't know if it was the same or if I'm gonna end up getting like new stuff. So I was just waiting for a packet and I never got it. So I called and
You know, it was all
got put
the,
on hold a couple times.
it was all the same, but we'll struggle
Okay.
through here. Yeah, it didn't change. It was the same stuff as before.
Okay, I wasn't sure, sorry.
All right, let's call the case. This is file 26932 LT. Memory Lanes versus Kiara Summy. The owner of Memory Lanes, Richard Pizzoli, is here. The manager, Chris Corpening, is here. And Stuart Weiner, their attorney, is here. When we were here last, we determined that rent was $2,925, $150 in late fees, and $257.10 in court costs, for a total of $3,332.10. Mr. Weiner, is that how you recall it?
It's accurate, Your Honor. The difference is, of course, we're here now and it's June. So there's another $1,025 due in the rent. There's a
Yeah.
late fee.
Yes,
So
I put in there plus June, so that was through May. So
That's
what's the
correct.
current?
the current amount due, I don't know, Your Honor, I sent Elaine a judgment. I don't know if you have it, which
Let's see.
contains the current numbers.
I have a judgment. It doesn't have any numbers on it, so I guess I can fill it in. So essentially, we add June's rent and another late fee to last week's total. So
Right.
what is the current total?
So the current total is $4,357.10. And I'll break it down. 3,900 is due in rent. 200 is due in late fees. The costs are still the same, $257.10. The total is $4,357.10.
Ms. Summy, what's your response to that?
I totally agree with it. I understand like the rent, being due. I do have plans on moving out because with trying to get on disability and just doing the stuff with income right now, I know I'm not going to be able to keep up with it or make up for it. So I do have plans on just moving out basically.
All right. I will put through June. Rent is $3,900. $200 in late fee. $257.10. They did ask for supplemental damages. Same thing, Mr. Pizzoli. We're still in June. If I do this and there's other damage to the apartment, or the unit, this will just be it. Do you wish the money judgment now?
Yes, Your Honor, I do, please. Thank you.
All right. So the damages are $4,100. Court costs are $257.10. Total amount is $4,357.10. I'll indicate money judgment entered at this time. Partial payment will not prevent the writ of eviction, and you could be liable you're liable for the amount, $4,357.10. I've signed a judgment in that amount.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You have 10 days to move, Ms. Summy. Which,
Is there any way that I could get an extension?
Well-
I'm a single mom with disability, and so I just kind of.
well, let me talk about that. You can talk with Kim, or Christine. They don't have to evict you on June 15th, but this didn't just pop up. This has been building. And in fact, we went from May to June and now they're another month behind. So they may not be very inclined to give you an extension, but they can. Let me also tell you this, when you do move, you need to turn in your keys and give your forwarding address in writing within 4 days of your moving. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes.
Do you have any questions?
No, just about the extension. That's about it.
All right, well, you can discuss that with Ms. Corpening. If there's a moving van up there and they're ready to move out, it might not make sense to pursue a get rid of eviction, but this has been brewing for months. The notice to quit was served a number of months ago.
Judge,
Yes?
should that money judgment amount would be as if she possessed the unit through June 30th, wouldn't it? Because they wanted the supplemental today, typically that supplemental is only entered through the day, the per diem for the month, based on the day it enters.
It may be by somebody else. They've occupied it for the month of June. She would get till June 15th. I don't expect they're gonna rent it on June 16th. And so I'm gonna go with that number. Now, certainly if they let her stay longer, it's hard to calculate the per diem if they allow her to stay to the 16th, 17th, 18th, 25th, but she does. They have an inability to rent it while she's in it. And I don't expect, even if she did vacate on June 15th, they'd rent it on the 16th. So they're gonna lose the month of June's rent. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Havens, would you accompany the clerk? And they'll give you a copy of this. Ms. Summy, do you have any questions?
Just pretty much what's the move out date?
All right, that's it. June 15th, stay in contact with Ms. Corpening, and maybe something can be worked out. I don't expect you're gonna move out exactly on the 15th, but we'll see how this plays out. All right, you're good to go. Thank
So do
you.
I just get the date from her then?
Well, the date right now is June 15th. The following day is the 16th, which would be the first day they could ask for the writ. But it's very messy to do a writ of eviction. The sheriff comes and they put all your stuff out in the street, and it's not good for anybody. So there may be some discretion involved to give you time to vacate.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we have another memory lane, Dayton. And that party doesn't appear to be here. This is Memory Lane versus Michelle Dayton. File number is 26933LT. She indicated that, oh, we just did that. She planned to move, she can't pay. We already did that one. And I did that judgment.
We did send you also a judgment for Ms. Dayton. I don't know if you have that.
I had one in there. I think I did it. No, here it is. Yes. Oh, boy. I put Miss Dayton's numbers in Miss Summey's case.
Oh, okay.
I put 3,900.
Well, that's
her.
Ms. Dayton is 3957.10.
All right, good. Then that's correct. All right, Miss Dayton is 3,900 plus $200 late fee.
Well, it's actually, Your Honor, the rent is 3,500 for Ms. Dayton, then the 200 for late fee, 257.10 for costs, total 3,957.10. She owed the additional June rent of $925, which was $875, and then a $50 late fee.
She is not here. Except for 155. She did contact DHS. Christina, did you had contact with this tenant?
No, Your Honor, I have not, haven't heard from her.
Is she still there?
Yes, she is.
She indicated she planned to move.
Beck, Richard, you would like a judgment on this?
Yes, please.
All right, and Meg, I guess, would probably make the same argument. No, make the same ruling. Through June, 3,500 200 late, and 257.10 in costs, for a total of 3,957.10. Acceptance of a partial payment will not prevent a writ of eviction. And I don't need to check that box. The date is June 15th. They probably have the same problem as the last tenant.
Judge, I only spoke up because she asked for an extended redemption date
Oh,
in the
yes.
previous case.
Well, hopefully these ladies, as you know, there isn't anywhere to move to. All right, I believe, Mr. Weiner, that completes our cases.
We do.
And,
Yep. I will see you on Monday.
all right, there always seems to be another case coming, doesn't there?
Yes.
All right, you're all good to go. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Have
Your
a
Honor.
great weekend, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you,
We're
Your Honor.
working on it. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
My weekend is going to be filled with small children. All right, now we have a couple of Terry Richmond cases at 2 o'clock. I think I have people in the waiting room. Let's see who's here.
Between your walls and my walls, we got quite the menagerie going on here.
Very good. All right, you have our last 2 cases of the week.
Yay!
Yes. Miss Washington is here,
Uh-huh.
and I have someone that's here by telephone, Samsung. Is that Luther Baldwin?
I don't know.
Well,
It's
we'll see.
Michelle Dayton.
Who is it?
Michelle Dayton.
Oh, Miss Dayton. I didn't realize you were here. We had a hearing. You indicated that you were going to try to move. I had made a finding that you owed $3,500 in rent, $200 in late fees, $257.10 in costs, for a total of $3,957.10. Is it still your plan to move?
Well, I got a hold of, I don't know, what is it called? The,
Department of Health and Human Services?
yes, and they denied me. They said it was too much money. So I put in an appeal for it, and I'm still waiting on my disability to go through. But yes, I do plan on moving. I know I still owe them the money, and I will pay it to them, but I can't do it right now. I'm not working.
I understand. The money judgment did enter My suggestion is that you go contact Miss Corpening. And I made a finding that you also owed that money. They don't have to start collecting it yet. June 15th is only 10 days from now. You're on disability, you have limited mobility. But as I said, this process has been going on for months. And
Yes.
we got from May and now they're behind June's rent. So so that's my order. You're gonna get a copy of it. And I would go see Chris Corpening and discuss what your plans are with her. If you do get some funding, they can agree to let you stay there. But you have to pay the entire amount. A partial payment will not prevent the writ of eviction.
Right.
So, all right, we talked about that last week, and there is a money judgment. All right, Miss Dayton, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were there. It was only a number and I didn't know who it was. All right, you're good to go. Thank you.
So I have a eviction notice as of now.
You have 10 days to move or you're subject to being evicted unless you can work
Okay.
something out with your landlord.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. All right. Thank you. I'm not sure what time she came into the queue, but it wasn't the appointed time, but she did appear. All right, let's talk about our next case, which is Terry and Larry Richmond versus Keisha Washington.
Directions.
Through May, rent was $3,513.90. We're now into June. Ms. Richmond, what's the status here today?
At the moment, she owes $44.28 in arrears through June and $174.10 in court costs. But I talked to Carolyn.
Well, what's the total?
Oh, the total is $45.2278.
She indicated she was working with Neighborhood Inc. and Carolyn McNary is the current director there. What's the status?
We're going to redo Keisha's lease on Monday, and they've opened a file on her.
Keisha, you still remain in contact with Neighborhood Inc.?
Yeah, she said once we do the new lease and send in all the paperwork of what I owe, it shouldn't take long after that because she'll just have everything.
All right, that would be great. Through June 2026, you owe 4428, 174.10 in court costs. Now you're working two jobs. I thought you told me Buffalo Wild Wings and somewhere else.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to start to pay your rent in July?
Yeah, yes.
All right, well, this could maybe get you back to square one. You have 10 days from today to pay this, which will be on June 15th, or you're subject to being evicted. Partial payment will not prevent the writ of eviction. I'm not entering a money judgment at this time. You may be liable for money damages if there's additional rent owed or there's damage to the property. They do not have to evict you on June 15th. They have 56 days from today to ask for the writ of eviction. You also have until, I don't have page 2 of this order. June 15th to appeal. All right, so you're on the right wavelength. You've talked to Neighborhood Inc. Terry's talked to Neighborhood Inc. It appears they're going to give you some funding. Now, let me repeat this. I think I told this to you last time. You have to pay the entire amount to cure this. Let's say they give you $4,000. You would still owe additional $522.78. The only thing that cures this is paying the entire amount. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, and hopefully you can make up the difference if there's a shortfall. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, stay in contact with Ms. Richmond and her staff. Stay in contact with Neighborhood Inc. All right. You're good to go, June 15th. Now, I'm going to tell you something else. I may have said this last week. If for some reason you do move, you need to turn in your keys and give your forwarding address in writing within 4 days of your moving out, okay?
Yes,
All right, you're good to go, thank you.
thank you.
All right, I've got someone that's zoomed in as Tino Cilero 5G. I think that's Luther Baldwin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Your Honor, to interrupt you. My name is Luther Baldwin. I don't know how to put my name on there. If it's loud, I'm at work still. I'm sorry, too.
I would normally make you take your hat off, but you're outside and you're at work and this is a court proceeding.
Yeah, I take it off. It's my little cap from work. Keep the dirt
All
out
right,
my hair.
so we were here last month. It's now June. So there's an additional month. You're working at Barletta Boats, we discussed, and that's probably where you are now. It's probably good and humid down there. Miss Richmond, what's the arrearage today?
Through June, $2,028. Court cost of $154.93 for a total of $2,182.93.
Yes, ma'am. I'll make sure I get on that one.
All right, so you're gonna pay that?
Yes, I am. So basically, like I say, Your Honor, I'm not trying to make excuses. I had to hire Christina Yancey to get sole custody of my son. It set me back. She charged me like $3,500. It's a lot of mess. But it really set me back a little bit. But I'm a single dad, like I say. Like my son was going to school, he has autism. So it's like a lot of stuff that every week that he needs. But I haven't even worked a full week in like 2 months. Even my check now, it's only like $300 this week. But at the same time, it's like, I know it's no excuse behind it. I'm going to make sure I start paying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to get around anything. You know, there's no excuses.
All right, I'm having a little trouble hearing everything you say from your phone, but the rent through June is 2,028, $154.93 for a total of 2,182.93.
Yes, sir. I hear you.
You got a good job. I was disappointed you didn't pay anything between last week and now because we're into another month. It's now June. We were in May. You have until June 15th to pay this or you're subject to being evicted.
Yes,
So
sir.
you need to stay in contact with your landlord. She can agree to give you more time, but you have to pay the entire amount. Partial payment does not necessarily cure a request for a writ of eviction. I'm not entering any money judgment. You may be liable for money damages after moving or if additional rent is owed. You also have an.
Is there a place that like community action? They assist with that type of stuff too?
So have you been in contact with Community Action Agency?
Yeah, and I called them and they said that they didn't have any like help or anything like that. But the DHS, I get like a copy of it saying I'm gonna get evicted. They will help me. If I'm a single dad, the DHS said they will help me. I have to like get it like to look like it. And then they will help me pay to cover it.
Judge, you're making about $30 an hour at Barletta Boats, and I don't know that they're gonna find that you're eligible for emergency financial assistance. But
well, actually, I make 26 an hour, but yeah, you're right.
All right. Anyway, you're gonna get this in the mail. I would suggest you stay in contact with Miss Richmond.
Yes, sir.
We're several months behind in the rent. I don't think we paid April, May, or June, and maybe part of March. So I don't know if you were working during those months or what the deal was, so you may be eligible
no,
for some.
I've been sitting on like 200, but it's not enough to obviously like make it look like I've been doing anything. So yeah, like I said, I haven't been working like that, like 40 hours a week. No, I haven't been doing that for the last 3 months. So
All right. Well, those are the numbers. I'm going to send you this. Share it with DHS, Neighborhood Inc., Community Action Agency. Stay in contact with Ms. Richmond. But the cold hard truth is, unless you pay the rent, you're subject to being evicted.
yes,
If you
sir.
are, or if you move, you need to turn in your keys and give your forwarding address in writing within 4 days of your moving.
Yes, sir.
So I think that you're well enough paid between what you're doing work-wise and maybe some help-wise, you can get this squared away.
Yes,
But
sir.
you have until June 15th to vacate or be subject to being evicted or to appeal this. Let me
Yes,
repeat,
sir.
Richmond does not have to evict you on June 15th. She can give you up to 56 days from today's date to pay the rent. Of course, if we go that long, we're going to be into the month of July. But through
Right.
June, it's $2,028.
Yes, sir.
Questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir. I'll let you get back to work. This was
Thank
much,
you, sir. Yeah,
you take the afternoon off, but stay in contact with your landlord.
I definitely try. Definitely do.
All right, thank you. Anything further on that one, Ms. Richmond?
Nope, I think that's it. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, Mr.
Thank you,
Baldwin,
Ms.
good luck.
Richmond. You have a good one.
All right, I'll let Mr. Baldwin get back to work. Terry, you can
Go back
get
to
back.
work.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Meg, you can go back to work. You can take the rest of the afternoon off. There's.
Oh, in
my
that case.
Okay.
Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you. All right, bye.